A splendid 7th wicket partnership of 104 put an aggressive Kent on top at the end of the opening day of their first LV County Championship match of the season, away at Leicestershire. Ramnaresh Sarwan won the toss and asked Kent to bat first, and both Rob Key, now no longer captain of Kent, and Sam Northeast got off to a decent enough start, with plenty of boundaries coming in the first 10 overs of the game, in which this pair took the total along to 39. Northeast then would have been bitterly disappointed to get out, especially as he was sold a dummy by his partner and run out at the non-striker's end, courtesy of Michael Thornley's accurate throw. Runs continued to come at a good rate in spite of that loss, as Key was now joined by Brendan Nash. Leicestershire were sometimes a little profligate in their bowling on a windy day, which gave the visiting batsmen plenty of deliveries to score off. Having said that, there was also an element of fortune in the second wicket partnership of 44, such as this Chinese cut by Key off Shiv Thakur. This was a Leicestershire debut for Robbie Williams, a man born in Kent, who's previously played for Middlesex. His maiden wicket was the big one of Key, who was hurried into his shot a little before top-edging to Thakur to go for 41 at 83 for 2. And that was Leicestershire's last success before lunch, as Michael Powell joined Nash and kept the runs coming up until the break, as the bowlers continued to struggle to always find a consistent line and length in what were becoming very breezy conditions. Nash made the most of such things into the afternoon session as he pushed on against the 7 bowlers employed by Sarwan. One of them, Ollie Freckingham, on his home debut, broke a developing stand on 59 as Powell timed a flick well enough but put the ball too close to Williams in the deep. Powell was the latest to get in but failed to go on, getting out for 25, but Nash did look as if he was going to stick around for some while as he reached his 50 off his 61st delivery. He struck 6 fours in that. But he scored no more as he was out to the very next ball he faced, falling LBW to Freckingham at 147 for 4. Darren Stevens was in by now in what was becoming a rather frantic day. The former Leicestershire man is never a slouch, and he refused to let any of the home bowlers, who'd lost Matthew Hoggard after just 5 overs with an injury, settle in, especially Jigger Naik, who proved to be a little expensive. Not that he was the only one, as new man Geraint Jones was also given balls to drive to get his innings moving. One thing Leicestershire did to their credit was plug away, and their efforts were rewarded as another Kent man got out before taking full advantage, Stevens nicking a cut off Naik behind on 27. Kent's new captain, James Treadwell, now came to the crease with his side on 193 for 5, and he soon had his side to their first point of the campaign. But he was then desperately unlucky to be run out backing up after contributing 13. At 207 for 6, the game was in the balance, and Leicestershire would have been happy enough, but Matt Coles was soon proving again what a talented all-rounder he is, with a well-executed maximum. He and Jones now stepped on the gas either side of T in a tremendous stand which realised 104 runs in only 19 overs. Within it, Coles raced to a 50 off only 51 deliveries, while Jones also got to his off a slightly more pedestrian 70. They hit 13 fours and a 6 between them. It was certainly very entertaining fare from this pair, who were now putting their side into a strong position. Coles, though, then gave it away, charging down the pitch to Naik and missing his shot by a distance, to be stumped by Niall O'Brien for 59 at 311 for 7. Jones soon followed, missing his sweep shot and being struck on the pads in front for an impressive 67. He departed at 317 for 8. Leicestershire would have now been hopeful of wrapping things up, but for the second game in a row they conceded 400 after winning the toss and inserting. Kent owed a fair bit to Mark Davis and debutant Callum Haggart, who added an untroubled and important 68 runs for the 9th wicket in 14 frustrating overs for the home side. Their work was eventually ended by Thakur, who bowled Davis for a fine 41. Haggart, a former Somerset second 11 player, looked very handy, and he moved into the 40s as well to take Kent beyond 400 against this injury-ravaged Leicestershire attack. The day ended when Haggart tried to hit Naik over the top but miscued to Matt Boyce. He went for 40 as Naik's endeavours were rewarded with figures of 4 for 97. In the end, Kent were all out for 406, with 216 of those runs coming in boundaries alone, leaving their host to respond on day 2. Leicestershire will hope that they produce a much better effort than their first innings at Hampshire last week.